Hello everyone, this is Creature and welcome to my Creatures of Scenaria video. Alright, so you've just rolled a Venatrox. Maybe you weren't even trying for anything crazy, maybe you were just casually spinning the cheapest gacha in the game, expecting the usual fine creatures, and then boom, this weird four-winged alien wyvern drops into your lap like it just fell out of a cosmic horror movie. And here's the funny part, you probably don't even realize what you just pulled. This is like finding a legendary weapon in the tutorial chest. You're getting an S-tier PvP threat for basically pocket change. Half the community still doesn't understand how cracked this thing is, which honestly works in your favor. Because Venatrox isn't just good, it's one of the strongest flyers in the whole game. We're talking up there with the big names, Aries, Ghibli, Malupiscus, all the meta monsters that usually take forever to get. Meanwhile, Venatrox is just like, yeah, I'm 65 mush in a dream. So let's talk about why this creature is so scary, why almost nobody uses it correctly, and how you can become that one Venatrox player who drops from the sky and deletes half the server before anyone knows what happened. Before we begin, please comment down below which creature you'd like me to cover next, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. First thing you'll notice once you actually take it out for a test flight is the speed. Venatrox isn't just pretty fast, it's legitimately racing alongside the 40% fly sprint elites. And that alone would make it solid. But Venatrox doesn't stop at solid. It walks right over that line, rips it up, and eats it. Because this creature doesn't just fly fast, it hits hard, harder than almost anything its size has any right to. 300 base damage already lets you chunk flyers and terrestrials alike. But the moment First Strike is active, and it's active as long as you stay above 75% health, you're suddenly swinging 375 damage per hit. It feels illegal. And normally, a creature this light would bounce off heavier targets like a ping pong ball. But Venatrox has corrosion, which is basically cheating. Every bite steals weight from your opponent and gives you an instant advantage. They hit you for less, you hit them for way more, and the gap keeps widening every time you land another bite. Watching a massive terrestrial realize they're losing a weight matchup to a tier 3 flyer is honestly kind of beautiful. Plus you've got acid breath giving poison, which flyers absolutely hate dealing with. But here's where Venatrox gets spicy. With the right build, you can actually turn yourself bleed immune, and that is a huge deal. Bleed is the #1 thing that normally shuts Venatrox down. It stops your health regen, forces you to disengage, and ruins your first strike uptime. But if you build around that immunity, you turn into the kind of endurance fighter that just refuses to go away. You drag fights out, heal through damage, and let your corrosion shred them slowly, miserably, helplessly. Now, all that power doesn't come free. Venatrox might be strong, but it demands respect and skill. This creature has one of the most painful stamina situations in the entire flyer roster. The takeoff cost alone is brutal. Your stamina bar is tiny, and the glide region? Calling it bad is an understatement. It recovers 1 stamina every 2 seconds, which means if you stop paying attention for even a moment, you end up grounded. And grounded Venatrox is, well, dead. If you touch the floor for too long or get hit by Wing Shredder, shock, freeze, anything that forces you down, you might not have enough stamina to get airborne again. And once that happens, you're basically a colorful snack waiting to be picked up. Add in the burn weakness, and suddenly Ghibli and other burn creatures can ruin your whole day with 1 or 2 good hits. A lot of players also remember the old Venatrox, the one with Keen Observer. That version was so busted that when the ability got removed, people just stopped using it. The funny part? Venatrox is still insanely good, just overlooked. Its only real flaw in long fights is that it doesn't apply bleed, which is why if you're bringing Venatrox into PvP, a cat plushie isn't optional, it's required, and that's when the build choices come in. You've got 2 main styles, both running damage and weight traits, because those are basically made for Venatrox's kit. If you want raw power, Powerful Elder is the wild one. It boosts your weight and your damage, which stacks beautifully with First Strike. Combine that with corrosion, and you start spiraling enemies into weight differences they cannot recover from. The trade-off is your stamina. It tanks even harder. So pair this with a cat plushie and either a horned beetlefly to reduce takeoff cost, or a reindeer to patch that tragic glide region. But if you're willing to try something new, Gentle Elder is where things get interesting. It cuts your weight and damage a bit, but opens the door to bleed immunity when paired with the Astral Quetzal plushie. You lose access to beetlefly and reindeer, but Gentle Elder gives you extra stamina to compensate. And even without the full damage of the aggressive build, you still hit hard enough thanks to First Strike and your innate numbers. Meanwhile, bleed-reliant creatures, which is half the roster, suddenly can't touch you. So now you know the secret. Venatrox isn't just some budget flyer, it's a sleeper meta threat that becomes absolutely terrifying when played by someone who actually understands its mechanics. Master your stamina, avoid landing at all costs, pick your fights smartly, and Venatrox turns into that creature everyone keeps asking about in chat. The one the whole server suddenly starts watching from a safe distance. Thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like if you found this guide helpful, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Until next time.